Good morning, everyone. Welcome into this day with Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We come to religious community from many paths and with diverse needs. If you've come here seeking comfort, may your pain be soothed. If you come here looking for answers, may you find new questions. If you come here seeking purpose, may your call be awakened. If you've come here hoping to build a new way, may the path open before you. That's by Michelle LaGrave. My name is Julia Cochran. I'm a member of the board here at QUUF. As we gather, I acknowledge that these waters, mountains, valleys, and shorelines that we inhabit are the traditional territory of the S'Klallam and Chimicum peoples. We honor these indigenous people in history and those with us today, and strive to counter the harm done due to colonization. If you're visiting today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall after this service. We have a newcomers table near the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer your questions. Welcome to all this morning. We're glad you're here. Let us settle our minds and calm our hearts. Bell 3 times the nurses. Our prelude is What Matters, and was written by Randi Driscoll in 1998 in response to the death of Matthew Shepard. Matthew was a young college student from Wyoming, killed in a vicious hate crime. It has been revisited recently to honor his legacy and to continue to put a message of love and unity forward in a world so deeply fractured with escalated acts of hate against the LGBTQ+ community. By Randi Driscoll, performed by Pat Killian.
You were the brightest angel heaven had ever seen. You walked in with a story to tell and 10,000 tongues to scream. And you said, doesn't your heart beat the same as mine? Haven't I told you 1,000 times? Isn't the air in my lungs the same as the air you breathe? So who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? Who cares who I love? Heaven help me, for I am lost. What a price my love did cost. But here I am standing strong, and I am free. Didn't we share the same sunrise and sleep in the same moonlight? Isn't the blood in my veins the same as the blood you bleed? So who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? Who cares who I love? When I die, when they lay my body down, the peace that I will find is the peace that brings us all around, that brings us all around. Doesn't my mother cry like everyone's? My father grieves for his lonely son. Isn't my rainbow a little brighter because. So who cares whose arms I'm all wrapped up in? Who cares whose eyes I see myself in? Who cares who I dream of? No, it doesn't matter who I dream of, 'cause in the end it only matters that I was loved, and I was loved. Love has no face. Love has no face. Love has no face. Who cares who I love? Why does anybody care who anybody loves?
I'm Mary Bennett, part of the Welcoming Congregation team, and our opening words today are "We Need One Another" by George Odell. We need one another when we mourn and want comfort. We need one another when we are in trouble, when we are afraid. We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and we need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another when we strive to accomplish some great purpose and realize we cannot do it alone. We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share triumphs. We need one another in the hour of defeat when with encouragement we try to endure and stand again. We need one another when we come to die and seek gentle hands to prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by hunger or war, when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall all be free. We light this flame to hold that moment in our spirit and in our minds until we can make it real. Please join in hymn 151 in the gray hymnal. If you wish to follow the music, the words will be projected. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free.
I wish I could break all these chains.
So now is story time, time for all ages. Right. Yep. Hi. Okay. The name of my book. Hi. So this is CT, this is Quali, and I don't know all the kids' names. Some of them. The name of my book is Sam is My Sister. Awesome. Evan, Sam, and Finn did everything together. All summer, they played with trains, climbed trees, and fished in the river behind Grandpa's house. They even went to outer space. Evan thought Sam and Finn were the perfect co-pilots. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Zoom, zoom, brothers to the moon, Evan cheered. At the library, they lugged books about space to the checkout desk. Wait, Sam shouted before running back to the shelves. Sam returned with a glittery book that had a long-haired princess on the cover. Why do you want a girl book instead of a space book, Evan asked. Books are for everyone to enjoy, Mom said. And girls can go to space too, Sam chimed in. Did you know donuts float in space? Finn asked. They all laughed, but Evan still wondered why Sam wanted that book. It was time to get haircuts for school. Evan and Finn got their cut shorter, like Dad's. Then it was Sam's turn. You're going to look so handsome, Dad said. I don't want to look handsome, Sam cried. I want to be beautiful with long hair down to my toes. Mom and Dad looked at each other, and Mom shrugged. Just a trim for Sam, Dad told the barber. Why doesn't Sam want to look like us anymore, Evan whispered to Dad. Well, buddy, it's Sam's hair, Dad said. A new hairstyle isn't hurting anyone. Evan didn't understand, but he saw the huge smile on Sam's face. On the first day of school, Evan put on his new clothes and showed Mom. But Sam wasn't ready. I don't like shorts. I want to wear a dress. Dresses are for girls, Evan said. Why do you want to dress all wrong? I want to wear what I like, Sam said. Mom seemed to be thinking. She left the room a moment and came back with a white hair bow. How about this for now? Mom clipped the bow in Sam's hair. Sam beamed. It's perfect. At school, some older kids pointed and laughed at Sam. One tried to grab Sam's bow. Why are you wearing that? He asked. 'Cause I like it, Sam said. Boys don't put stuff in their hair, another boy added. Well, I do, Sam shouted and marched off. Evan glared at the boys before running after Sam. Do you want to play spaceship? Evan asked, paging Commander Sam. But Sam stayed quiet. Evan tried again. Zoom, zoom, brothers to... I don't feel like playing, Sam said softly. The morning bell rang. Line up, the teacher called. Girls in one line, boys in another. Miss Carson, where do I go? Sam asked. Evan wondered why Sam didn't get in line next to him and the other boys. Miss Carson looked over at Sam. How about you just walk next to me, she said. Mom and Dad started letting Sam wear dresses after school and on the weekends. Sam couldn't wait to change into skirts with bright tights and put on pretty shoes. Evan had never seen Sam so happy. Why do you want to look like a girl? Evan asked one day. Because I am a girl, Sam said. On the inside. Sam drew a heart with a sparkly crayon. I don't get it, Evan replied. He picked up a crayon and drew a moon next to Sam's heart. So how do you know which hand to use when you color? Sam asked. Evan stopped drawing for a moment. I don't know. Drawing with the other hand just doesn't feel right. Well, being a boy doesn't feel right to me, Sam explained. It's just who I am. Evan tried to draw a star with his other hand and got frustrated. This is weird. I'm glad no one makes me do this all the time, Evan said. Sam has been talking to us about something important, Mom said that night. And Dad and I have met with some doctors and experts. We learned that for some people, the way they think and feel inside doesn't match what they look like on the outside. Even though Sam was called a boy at birth, Sam identifies as a girl. The word for that is transgender. Yes, that's me, said Sam. I want to be myself all the time. Dad smiled at Sam. You're in charge of who you are and how you feel. And we are in charge of making sure you kids are happy and healthy, Mom added. Well, I want to be in charge of dessert tonight, Finn said. If you're a girl, can we still go fishing? Finn asked. Of course we can, Sam said. Girls like to fish too, you know, Evan told Finn. What about playing spaceships, planes, and trains? Finn wondered. Sam laughed. We can play anything with any toys. We better tell Mom we're going to need a bigger toy box, Finn said. At school, things weren't as easy. Sam, you can't play with us because you're not a boy anymore, one boy said. No, that's just a boy in a dress, said a girl. Evan got angry. Hey, don't talk that way to my sister. He stood next to Sam until the mean kids walked away. You called me your sister, Sam said with a grin. Well, you are, Evan nodded. Evan knew that Sam was still the same Sam. That night at bedtime, Evan, Sam, and Finn watched as the moon rose and the stars sparkled through the clouds. What about going to the moon, Finn whispered. Will you still come with us, Evan asked. Princesses can go to the moon, Sam whispered back. Yes, they can, Evan said. Zoom, zoom, family to the moon. Yes? So, now we stand, and we sing out the kids, and me standing's a bit of a trip because I don't have anything to hold on to. Yeah. Okay. So.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Thank you, Julia, for that story, and thank you all for being here today. We pause for a time of generosity to receive an offering to support the life and ministry of Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. The ushers will come among you in a moment to receive the offering. Additional ways for giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we will affirm our lives within it. Thank you. Our offertory, called Nothing Taboo, has a subtitle of a love song for the outcast. One recording of the song begins with the chant 2, 4, 6, 8. Love does not discriminate, and we agree. Thank you, Pat, for bringing this song to us.
Sorry. Everybody's talking about what they won't allow. What are they really saying? They make it okay to hate, trying to push us away, but this is our home too. There's nothing wrong. We're just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. staring. Everybody's staring at us, making all kinds of fuss, but I see no reason why. Look, I'm fully grown. I've been to that rodeo. I have lived and I know that nothing they say is true. There's nothing wrong. They're singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. They don't have to go along with it. They know there's nothing wrong with it. We've got love on our side. Everybody's talking. Everything's coming around. Everybody's talking now. What a beautiful sound, a beautiful sound. Everybody's talking, saying enough is enough, saying our time has come. You cannot stop love, there's nothing wrong. Just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. There's nothing wrong. Just singing our love song. There's nothing taboo about me and you. About me and you. About me and you.
Thank you, Pat, for bringing your music to this service. This is the time set aside for our joys and sorrows. We recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life. And thus, we could place this stone for so many things. We will place this first stone, thinking in particular of LGBTQ plus people in the US and worldwide who are caught in these times of targeted attacks. We also celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Supreme Court decision to affirm the fundamental right to marriage for all couples, regardless of sexual orientation. And now within the congregation. We light a candle this morning for QUF member Charlie Aldrich, who is recovering from foot surgery at the Avamere Olympic Rehabilitation Center in Sequim. Charlie is grateful to be healing well and expects to be home by the end of July. In the meantime, he welcomes visitors while he is in Sequim, and you can send cards to his home address. Charlie, we wish you continued healing and look forward to seeing you again on Sunday mornings. We place this stone of sorrow for the death of Rosario Umana, mother of QUF member Ricardo Gomez and wife Mary Forster. Rosario was a creative and exuberant artist and doula living near Bogota, Colombia. She died of liver failure after a short convalescence. Her family gathered in her home and art workshop in Colombia to celebrate her life and to plant her ashes under the tree she had chosen, in a pottery urn she had made for the occasion. Ricardo and Mary brought back some of her whimsical pottery art to decorate their home in Port Townsend, Washington. We place a final stone holding in our hearts the joys and sorrows I've shared, but also thinking of such joys and sorrows among us that are unexpressed but are of no less importance. I welcome you into a silent moment or two of reflection, meditation, or prayer. This first one is from Alex Capitan, and this reading is the beginning of a text to a video by him, who's a Unitarian Universalist, and we will be offering this 3-part video series in the fall as part of our ALSO program, so we hope you'll join us. Alex writes, "Hi there, I'm Alex Capitan from the Transforming Hearts Collective, and I'm here to talk to you about how to ensure that your congregation is a place of safety and belonging for trans people and our families in this moment of targeted political attacks for trans people. Friends, trans people are having a really tough time right now. We are facing unprecedented attacks on our rights and a federal government that is actively working to make it illegal to be trans. Many people are fleeing the country or fleeing states with the worst new anti-trans laws, for states that have enacted shield laws to protect trans people. Most people aren't able to make this move. In this moment, it is critical for LGBTQ plus affirming congregations to offer trans people and our families safety and belonging. We desperately need soft places to land, places where we can be our true selves without fear, places where we can get a break from the relentless assault of anti-trans propaganda that we are facing in many parts of our lives, places where we can be affirmed and honored as the people we know ourselves to be. There is no overstating how important this is. It can quite literally be a life-saving experience for many people. So we need to get serious. We need to collectively take responsibility for ensuring that the experience trans people and their families have in our congregations is a positive one, that they feel safe, that they feel a sense of belonging and affirmation. It's really important to own the fact that this is not something that can happen without a coordinated effort and collective hard work. You can't just say you're welcoming, you have to actually be welcoming. Welcoming is a verb, y'all." The words of Alex Capitan. And this next one is a personal reflection of mine. I remember clearly the first time I was called to support a questioning youth while I was the director of family ministry here at QUUF. The child and the mother were with me in the loft getting registered for the religious education program. I was about to write the girl's name on the attendance chart when the mother asked the child, "Do you want to begin here with your new name?" The child nodded and asked me to write a different name from the one I had known. I took a deep breath as I wrote. I knew enough about harm done to transgender people to know that I wanted this to go well. I wanted to show respect for the child's decision. I wanted to be reassuring that QUF was a safe place for their family. I was grateful for my learnings that had led me to ask what pronouns I should use. It was an honor to be a witness to someone coming out, and that QUF was perceived to be a safe place to explore who they were at such a vulnerable age of early adolescence. Before meeting this person, I had only read about children recognizing that their gender at birth didn't match their gender identity. I believe I had common skepticism and cluelessness, maybe judgment, about the whole idea of it. I knew I had to watch for those judgmental thoughts and assumptions and acknowledge them when they surfaced. I watched the mother and child closely and learned. The mother said she wasn't sure what was happening or if this was truly a transgender child, yet she knew it wasn't for her or anyone else to decide or judge or challenge. The mom was willing to stay open, walk alongside her child as her child made the discovery for themselves. I was committed to doing the same. Within a few years, with the help and patience of many, the child came out as clearly transgender. I tell you this personal story because I did not start out being comfortable with affirming transgender people. I was afraid of making mistakes, doing harm, following misinformation. I needed to keep my compassion and my willingness to be educated front and center rather than sidestep it to avoid discomfort. Some of you will know that my reflection is about Mo Wolf and his mother, Anna. I sent them what I wrote and asked permission to tell the story. They were both fine with me using their names, and Anna said I could tell you this from her. Having a transgender child turned out to be such a gift. He is kind and empathetic. His having lived as both genders embodies the best of two genders. Furthermore, he is still the same person he always was. Just now, he is aligned with his true self and much happier and whole. Bridget?
So this is a poem that I'm going to read today by John Keane, and it was written for the 49 murdered and the 53 wounded at the Pulse nightclub in 2016. And some of you may remember that mass shooting as one of the most tragic at the time. I had the privilege and the honor of meeting families of the wounded and the dead who were in the process very soon after of trying to figure out what to make of this place and how to create a memorial for a place that for so many had been a place of safe harbor. And hearing the stories of those survivors and their family members of folks who were no longer there has really stayed with me. And so when I was asked if I would do a reading today, this was the first thing that came to mind. Pulse. We are the quiet street hours before doors open. We are the first words and the parting ones. We are the cologne and perfume selected for tonight alone. We are the fragrance of soap, Vaseline, shea butter. We are the pressed polos and tees, the freshly laced kicks. We are the pants just out of the dryer, the sweater that fits. We are the glances, the stares, the winks. We are the close cut, the Caesar, the tight fade. We are the crucifix, beads, and cowrie shells. We are the knockoff watch and the 14-karat chain. We are the cordon and the gathering line. We are the sachet and the strut and the swagger. We are the foundation, mascara, and blush. We are the eye blink, the heartbeat, the hush. We are the oil glistening in locks, ponytails, and froze. We are the piercings from eyebrows to tongues to noses. We are the mouth spray, the breath mints, the gum. We are the bustier, the suspenders, the garters. We are the shades that never come off. We are the pocket scrap of the rolling paper packet. We are the X, the weed, the snowy trail. We are the bitter beer, fizzy soda, and sweet cocktail. We are the chairs rearranged to open the floor. We are the sweaty brows, half-hidden tears. We are the gleam of smartphone screens. We are the small talk, the banter, the laughter. We are the claps and the clapbacks. We are the wigs on too tight or just right. We are the improvised steps, the smoothest moves. We are the dances that precede the groove. We are the cruise, stare, and icy glare. We are the kikis and air kisses and shade. We are the gossip that cannot wait to be told. We are the static, bass, and reverb. We are the heat rising off bodies nearing, touching. We are the beat that slides beneath the beat. We are the fallen lash, the broken heel, the belt cinched too tight. We are the proposal for a lifetime, few minutes, or the night. We are the breath held till the evening's climax. We are the closing doors, the bolted locks, and we are the silence that always remembers. We are the song that never ends. So now there is a video that we're going to share that I think transitions nicely from this moment in time, remembering Pulse. And in the spirit of celebrating Pride, this is an invitation to stand in body and or spirit as you're able to move in celebration. And this is called I Am America by Shea Diamond.
Good morning. I seem to have lost my family, but that's fine. My name is Julia Cochran. I am a short, older white woman with white hair, and I'm wearing a shirt from PT Shirts that says, Pride, proudly respecting inclusion, diversity, and equity. My pronoun statement is just Julia. On February 14th this year, the federal government removed 2 of my letters from the Stonewall website, T and Q. At that moment, I adopted a personal campaign that I call Claim Your Alphabet. So that is the title of my short talk. My alphabet is LBTQ+. Since I was 14, and through my mother's feminism and access to lesbians at the National Organization for Women, I knew I was a lesbian. My first relationship with a woman started when I was 16. She was 36. It lasted about 18 months till we were gay bashed outside an all-ages dance club at Times Square. I did not know lesbians my own age, since the primary place to meet each other at that time was at gay bars. And I was a young, politically active, anti-war hippie by the time the 70s rolled around. Men had always been attracted to me, and as my mother's daughter, I knew men meant safety from other men. I never used the word bisexual, because that was the worst thing to be. A switch hitter, AC/DC, etc., can't make up their minds. But now, looking at my history of living with men for over 20 years while always having a girlfriend on the other side of town, I claim B for bisexual. T for transgender, was a much longer journey that I'm still making peace with. I started traveling around this continent, mostly Canada and the US, at 18. On and off for 8 years, I hitchhiked as a boy, braids under a hat. Boys' overalls, denim jacket, boys' high-top sneakers. In my late 20s, I started to work for architects, both in their offices and on the construction sites. I loved working on construction sites. But it was dangerous because at the time, women were considered black cats. Bad luck. I was called androgynous by my coworkers. I wore prep school boys' jackets and pants that I got from a local thrift store. Both traveling and working, I enjoyed catching a young woman's eye and passing as a boy or a young male. Never particularly wanted to be a man, but was most comfortable walking a line between gender realities, which today we call non-binary. So I claim T. Q for queer, which is also being erased because of its inclusivity of everyone which does not fit into a cis-hetero norm, is the letter I'm most comfortable with. I'm fairly sure if I was a member of the younger generations, I'd be fully androgynous and bisexual. As it is, I look like the grandmother I am, and only flirt with women or gay men, because years of trauma had made me very wary of straight men. What does all this have to do with QUUF? Well, this is the first time I've openly shared my alphabet or my journey here. We think of ourselves as open and inclusive, and compared with the rest of the world, we do pretty good. But I still feel people's judgments when I say my pronoun statement, which I usually only do if there are other non-cis people in the room. I think having to label ourselves is a kind of repression. I believe that for many people, their life journey takes them to many unexpected places and offers the possibility of love and intimacy in different ways as we age. In a truly open and accepting society, many of us would have moments and relationships that don't fit a clear label. We would all be a lot more well-rounded, and that this freedom and openness is part of what a liberal religion promises. Oh, and the plus. That represents the surprises that the future offers me. Thank you.
Friends, beloved community, let us talk about bathrooms. We are a welcoming community, which means that we make sure that the people who spend time here with us can have the needs of their physical existence met. We heat or chill the spaces depending on the season. We have a kitchen and an after-service refreshment table, and we have bathrooms. And one thing that comes up a lot in the wider culture discussion of the idea of trans people is just that, bathrooms. Bathrooms and some assumptions about what might happen in them. Even saying the word feels a bit icky, and that ick response is by design. People who want to chase our beloved trans friends and neighbors out of our lives want to use that ick. So I'd like to take you all with me, metaphorically, into a bathroom when I was in college. Now, let's adjust that image just a bit. I was in my mid-40s at the time, and I was entering the ladies' room, a bathroom, yes, and there, looking in the mirror, was James. He was adjusting his eyeliner. James and I were in a couple of classes together, so we did what everyone does in the ladies' room and acknowledged each other and tended to the thing we were there for. Now, to make this story make sense, I have to tell you that I was attending Goddard College and that James usually wore clothes that looked like boy clothes, and I hadn't seen him wear eyeliner before, or a dress. He was wearing a really cute sundress. In a way, I could have thought that he didn't belong. But then on the other hand, he certainly didn't belong in the men's room, right? Not in that sundress. And this is the main thing, we were in Fort Worden, and the bathrooms were marked with a gender binary at the time. Only men or ladies. Stick figures with triangles or stick figures with top hats. A second or so of thought made perfectly clear that while he didn't exactly fit either category, it made perfect sense for him to be in the stick figure with triangle bathroom when he was wearing a dress. How about when he was wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt? Is this a trick question? I put it to you that it is not. James could have, in his usual outfit, gone to restrooms of either of the two available markings. But why, you may ask, am I talking about this from the pulpit? Physical logistics have long since been used to keep unwanted categories of people out of the places where decisions are made or out of public spaces in general. The Parliament of the United Kingdom did not have anywhere that people who were not men could use the toilets. And this was by design. It dictated how long a woman could be in the building before she no longer could stay. The first restroom in the House of Parliament to be designated usable by women was only marked as such because a woman, American-born Nancy Astor, had been elected to it. This was in 1919. In a piece, one of many published at the 19th News, which is an independent nonprofit newsroom reporting on gender politics and policy, reporter Orion Rumler reminds us that the U.S. Capitol opened its first restroom for congresswomen in 1962. Facilities for female U.S. senators at the Senate chamber level, those were first provided in 1992. This reminder was necessary because an elected representative had declared war on these innovations and decided it was up to her to police just who goes where. I won't dignify her by mentioning her name, but her action is important. She wanted to keep trans people out of her space, and as her tactic to fight against her trans peers, she declared a war on their bodily functions. The 19th was far from the only entity reporting about this. You probably heard about it somewhere else and were properly horrified. And this is where bathroom policies become pertinent to a beloved community. This is where and when we get to live our faith with love in the middle in this building with its gender neutral facilities and outside it. You, dear one, will find yourself in a bathroom when someone's appearance may not exactly comport with your assumptions about their gender. I implore you at that time to think of the history and stay silent unless someone challenges that person when you are there. At the very least, make this world a better place by saying, "That's okay, I'll vouch for them," and stay in the room until the challenged person is ready to go out. Take bystander training. Make it awkward for anyone trying to make it awkward for someone to use a bathroom. We are a welcoming community, and this stretches far outside our walls.
Hi, I'm Jessie. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my share today. I'll be honest, it feels a little presumptuous of me to stand in a room full of people who have lived much longer than I and tell them how to be welcoming. It's made me curious when the last time was that you felt welcoming by my generation. When the last time was that someone sat down and listened to your share. We all long to be welcomed, to be seen truly, listened to deeply, to be known. The way I know how to do this is to invite you to play. That's how most of us started, right? On the playground as kids. It felt so natural to ask, "Do you want to play? Do you want to play with me?" This will be the third town I've asked people of the boomer generation and older if they'd like to play bridge with me. I'm actually really good. Or mahjong, or spades, hearts, canasta. Will this be the third town that replies, "No, thank you"? I have not always felt welcomed by your generation, but I still offer the invitation. Come. Play. You see, we think we need to make it complex. We need to make it profound and impactful. We need seminars and lectures, sermons and coursework. On what? How to be human? How to embody kindness? My, how much we must have lost along the way to no longer be able to simply say, "Come, play." I do not need to tell you what it's like to be queer, because someone's existence, it doesn't need justifying. But you are welcome to know me, to draw close and do the give and take relationship work. And along the way, as we play, I trust we will share our stories, the ways we lost in life, and the ways life gifted us with wonder and love and growth. I will become more than a token queer symbol to you, an identity you might feel compelled to understand in order to see yourself as an open-minded, accepting human. I will become a person to you. And my hope is you will fight for my freedoms to exist as I am, not because someone trained you to, but because I am a living, breathing being. And because you have taken the time to know me, just as I have come to know you and what you may need advocacy for. The world is burning. The weight of all the ways we need to change is crushing. At times, it can feel like too much to bear. But there is a place for you at my table. I have drawn up a chair. I have brewed tea and coffee and baked you my best lavender shortbread. My children have decorated the lemon bars, so I must admit the curd has drooped a bit from their enthusiastic little hands. But it still tastes delicious. Will you join us? I have set up a card game. Come, play. Our closing song is How Could Anyone by Libby Roderick. The music is in our teal hymnal, number 1053. The words will be projected and are on the postcard you are most welcome to take with you and encouraged to use. Please rise in body and spirit.
We'll sing it through twice. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
We close it with these words by Rebecca Savage. We have come to the end of our service, but not our calling in the world. We close our time together with the humble reminder that justice and equity are our spiritual practices to embrace. Each day, every day, we are blessed to be the embodiment of what is possible when justice and equity ground us all in what we do. May we go forth with the light and warmth of our chalice in our hearts until we are together again. For a couple of years in our social justice meetings, we have added a line to our chalice extinguishing words. Before the power of transformation, we say the value of inclusion. Join us in this edition today. We extinguish our flame, but not the light of truth and the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, the value of inclusion, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.